Hey, what's up guys? Smaldor here for another Thoughts video, and this time I'm going to be doing it on Hades. Quite a bit late doing a review or my a Thoughts video on a game called Hades that released its 1.0 quite a while ago. But we're going to go ahead and talk about it because I had been pretty much playing this non-stop off stream for quite a while. I played it on stream a few times, but... and I think this might be the first game that I'm going to be doing a review on that I actually didn't really play on stream at all. Like I said, I did a couple times, but it wasn't anything I played fully on stream. Let's just get right down to it. Are you guys going to already see my scoring for me? I'm going to leave it up the whole time. I just did a video for my Valhalla playthrough, and I put it up at the end. I think I'm going to start putting these up right away. I think it makes more sense. Yeah, let's go down the list. Primary narrative. This is a roguelike game. And a primary narrative in one of those is unheard of, right? It's very not something that you think about in a roguelike. But so I hope I'm saying it right. It should be a roguelite, not a roguelike, right? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, there is a continuing story. It's so good. Like, it's so good. I have about like 35 hours, maybe 40 hours in the game to get the true ending. I wasn't really pushing for the true ending for a while, though. But, well, I have even more than that, because I ended up starting to do a bunch of runs as well. Like, I started doing a bunch of Heat 9 runs to try to, like, okay, what's world records and speed runs and stuff. I'm like, well, I'm getting it down to, like, 15, 14 minutes, but records are around, like, 5-6 minutes. Everybody's saying Heat 9's the way to go, so that's what I've been practicing on. Anyway, no repeated dialogue so far that I can remember. But there's like reasons why you die, reasons why everything happens. Story-wise, it all happens and it makes sense. It's unreal. Like, there's so many characters, so many things tied together. You start doing something, okay, so you get a boon, right? Like, so you do a run. At the start of your run, you get a boon from a character, or from one of the gods, one of the Olympian gods. Let's say you get a boon from Zeus. Okay, you get some Zeus powers, you get lightning powers. Okay, you start doing a run. You're continuing your run. You get a boon from, I don't know, Dionysus, and Dionysus is like, oh hey, you were talking to Zeus, huh? You know, your uncle is, you know, blah 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 blah. You know, but I'm a nice party guy, so let's have a drink, bro. You know, because Dionysus is a really chill bro. Like, but they comment on what you've been doing, which is crazy. The game is very reactive story-wise as to how your decisions that you're making along the way. And that was mind-blowing to me. It was just so good. And very minor things too. And then you go back, like, say you die, and you go back to like the area before you start your run, the House of Hades. You can talk to a bunch of the NPCs of the chthonic gods, and they'll comment on what you did in your previous run, and what you've done, and who you talked to, what gods you got powers from, and everything. It's like, it's insane. And there's the whole overarching narrative of, you're trying to escape Hades. You want to go to the surface, because you're the son of Hades. You eventually find out who your mother is, and you want to meet your mom. So your main goal to escape is to go meet your mom. You're like defying your father, blah, 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 blah. And it just keeps building and building. It's so good. And that kind of ties into the character development. Zagreus is an amazing protagonist. He's one of my probably favorite protagonists of all time in video games, period. He's so good. Supergiant Games did an amazing job. But, like, it's awesome. Like, all the characters are pretty much fantastic. I've talked to every character, I've maxed out most of them, their storylines and everything. There's only a couple that I didn't really bother with just because they were the few characters I didn't care about. And so this is kind of why, like, I'm not giving it a 10, I'm giving it a 9, because there's a couple characters I didn't care for as much about. Dusa being one. Skelly. I mean, Skelly was pretty funny in the beginning, but same thing with the primary narrative. The reason why I don't give it a 10 is because at the end of the day, it's still a roguelike game, and there's only so much you can do with that. They're limited based on the genre of the game that they created. They pretty much did the best that they could have done that was even possible. So that's why I'm giving it a 9, because it's amazing. Combat systems. This is a 10 out of 10, man. This game is insane. This game is amazing. It is the best roguelike game in existence. So before this game came out, my favorite roguelike was Dead Cells. And not to take anything away from Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a phenomenal game. If you've never played that game, go play that game right now, because it's amazing. But Hades just takes it up another level, man. It's so good. The combat is so fluid, smooth, it's responsive, it's amazing. It just feels incredible. I love it. Absolutely love it. The only thing I can see that somebody may not like it is because it is top-down, like, say, like a Diablo or Path of Exile type thing, but it's perfect. It's so good. Non-combat systems. This is the only thing that I gave lower than a 9, right? So here's why. Non-combat systems, what are we talking about? We're talking about boon selection, shops, with Charon shops. So that kind of goes into with the boon selections and all that. We're talking about the Mirror of Night, is that what it's called? The thing where you can upgrade your stuff before your runs. All that stuff that you can do in House of Hades to like boost up your character and make your runs easier. It's really, really good, and 8 is still really high on my rating, but there's some other things that aren't very well done, in my opinion, that there could have been done better, and it's specifically the relationships with the characters to be able to unlock the legendary keepsakes. I only ended up getting one of them, but like it's not very... It could have been a lot easier and done smoother, I think. It wasn't the best to be able to navigate through that and whatnot. Like, how do you know? Like, you basically just have to talk to somebody every single time you can. Literally every single time you can. And then you have to constantly give them the nectar, and then give them the ambrosia once they want ambrosia, and all this kind of stuff. But like, that system could have been better. The boon system, I personally would have liked it if you so eventually you can unlock a reroll ability in the boons if you choose to do the boon reroll, and it would have been cooler, I think, because it's a very late game ability that you can unlock. It's very late, or it requires a lot of resources to not get repeats. There was times where I would reroll, so I like to use combination Zeus and Poseidon a lot in my runs, and I wanted to get Poseidon Dash. I like the Poseidon Dash. Maybe I might get Poseidon's special cast and the one where I do more, or I do rupture damage. I'll reroll, I'll get the exact same 3. Reroll, exact same 3. Reroll again for the final time, maybe one different one. I'm like, it should give me ones I haven't, that was not in the previous one. Period. With the exception of maybe it might roll a higher rarity. That'd be kind of cool. But aside from that, you know, pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. The only other thing that I could potentially complain about is the weapon variety. There are 6 weapons. Sword, spear, shield, bow, fists, and gun. Yes, 6. But then each weapon has 4 aspects. So that's technically 24 if you think about it. But they don't really... A couple of them... So each one has 3 extra aspects besides the default, and the final one is hidden, and you have to do certain things and meet certain requirements in the game to be able to unlock it, whereas the other ones, all you got to do is just pay for it basically with a currency that you can get in the game. And the 2 ones that you can just buy, they really don't change the way the weapon works at all. I mean, they do, but not like groundbreakingly. The hidden one does, though. The last one drastically changes how a lot of the weapons work. But at the end of the day, the movesets are still generally the same. It's still kind of the same. So I would have really liked to have seen more weapons. For me, I think with the amount of variety that's in the game, a good amount would have been like double, honestly. Like 12 weapons would have been amazing. Imagine if you had like a flail, or imagine if you had like a battle axe, or you could like dual wield axes or something like that. Trying to think of like other like sick weapons that would kind of fit in that type of a setting, you know. But it is what it is. Music. The music in this game is bar none incredible. The only reason why I give it a 9 is because a lot of the music is hidden behind having to buy it with currency. I'm not talking, not real money, but in-game currency. So there's a lot of the music in the game that you'll never hear unless you go out of your way to get the resources to then purchase it to be able to listen to it. And that kind of sucks. Or you're only going to hear it like one time when you're playing the game, and then if you want to hear it again, you got to be able to get it again. So it's not, I mean, it's kind of like a facetious type of way for me to give it a 9 instead of a 10, because all the music that's in the game is incredible. It's just that you can't access a lot of it easily, and that kind of sucks. Technical. 0 issues in the game whatsoever. No crashes, no nothing. The game runs perfect. It ran at 600 FPS the whole time. Granted, obviously, the art style lends itself to be able to be ran on easily anything. This is a game that should be played on the Switch, I think, is a fantastic Switch game, mobile game, or something like that. If it could be played mobile, I have no idea. It probably can be. That's my thought on Hades, man. This game is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't played this game, play it, buy it. It's on Steam, Epic, whatever. I think it's on all that stuff. Do yourself a favor and play this game. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe. If you know, I gotta try to do my own shoutouts. You know, I do stream on Twitch. Yeah, if you have any comments or concerns or criticisms or anything like that, leave a comment below. I'll read it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys for the next video. All right, peace.